All right, and we are live. Hello, and welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 539. Tonight, I'm here with Alex, CEO of Hemeyer Demolition.
Good afternoon or good evening. 21 years in business.
Oh yeah, and I'm Jared, the non-combatant non-believer, and I'm also here with James Babb, the homegrown crypto hootie,
So good to be with you.
and special guest Forest Mommy.
Yes.
Hi. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thanks, Bab.
That
We're
gets really
stoked.
excited.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime we can get a nice woman in here to classy up the joint, it's a plus. So thank you.
It's true.
She's out of the closet.
I am out of the closet. No
She's
shoes behind me right now.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, Jared.
oh yeah. So how do we want to get started? Do you want to explain your Hemeyer sweatshirt that you're wearing?
Oh yeah, dude. This was pretty base. So yesterday, so I have a new class, I have a new welding class. They're about literally like 6 days in. So they're still kind of feeling each other, figuring it out, what's going on. And it is a little bit of monotony because they still have to wait to get their tools. And so they haven't done anything hands-on. So I'm like, all right, yesterday was the 21st anniversary of Marv's rampage.
Killdozer Day.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to radicalize these new kids. So
Now you're talking.
yeah. And they were in this like 2-hour long orientation that should only taken them an hour. And so they came back to class and I'm like, all right, let's just let's finish up this lecture. The last 15 minutes, we're going to watch a movie about the greatest welder of all time. And the one kid's like, are we going to talk about Marv? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Don't ruin it. You know, I'm like, hang on. And
someone called it. Oh,
yeah,
man,
this
that's
dude
great.
who was like, he was in the military or something. So he, I was like, don't ruin it. I was like,
Yeah.
don't ruin it. Hang on. So I showed that like 12-minute long, I guess it's like the Popo Medic video. It's the one we were like late night Force Mommy on election night that we ended the show with. Everybody else was off that one time. And it's like 12 minutes. It's very succinct. It just gets into it. It's pretty like, it's really good for, it's not very long winded. It gets right to it. And yeah, we watched that for like 12 minutes. And again, I asked these kids, I was like, how old were you in 2004? And they're like, I wasn't even born yet. And some of them were just like blown away. Like, this actually happened? Like, wait, what? And then when it got to the part where they're welding and like talking about how he built it, they were just like blown away. So long story short, the kid the next day, he came in, he's like, hey, Mr. Alex, like, you want this extra sweatshirt? I ordered a hoodie, but they didn't send me a hoodie. So it's like, it says Hemeyer Demolition established 2004. And then on the back, it says the same thing. And he's like, I ordered off at some, yeah. This kid was like, I ordered off a TikTok shop, but they sent me the wrong one, but they didn't want to send, they were like, we'll just send you another one. So he's like, you want it? I was like, fuck yeah. So
Perfect.
yeah, I radicalized the new welding class. So
Thank you for your service, Alex. I feel like you're doing God's work there with those young people.
You're welcome. I said it to my one buddy. He's like, oh, you're grooming them.
Well, it's important that it's important that they understand the power that a welder has in this world.
Yep.
It's substantial, right? Like, you don't want to just have anybody like being able to weld, right? Like, they got to be based, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is an important power that has to be wielded responsibly. Hopefully the next generation, right, will take it to the next level. You know, and they're like, hey, we got remote control now.
Yes.
You
You
know,
can weld
like,
drones now.
Yeah.
It's like you
Kill
don't-
drones. Well, they already have those, though, but
Yeah.
check for basements.
Mhm.
You know,
yes.
like, so
Oh yeah.
you know, like we all stand on the shoulders of giants, and now your class can stand on Marvin's gigantic shoulders and take it to the next level.
Hopefully we'll see. They were just blown away. They're like, is this real? Like, wait, what? You did what? And then when I
Do your
explained it,
supervisors know that you're showing this stuff?
dude, I am the supervisor.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
I'm the lead welding instructor.
Base, dude.
It's like, so it's all right. But yeah, that was how I acquired this dope shirt. So shout out to my class. They hooked it up.
Oh, so they got you the shirt?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
was the one kid in the class. He was like, yeah.
He gets an A,
excellent.
by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's very-
automatic.
definitely. So, but Yeah, where do we kick off? There's very
a
little
lot.
to talk about. I haven't heard anything on Twitter today. It's been very silent, very quiet out there. So, where to begin?
I guess we can start off with this whole Elon Trump fallout war.
MAGA wars.
The MAGA war.
Yes.
It's a civil war in MAGA.
So, yeah, let me share this real quick here.
Seems like
So-
Mean Girls. It seems like Mean Girls stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, here are two sets of tweets. I don't know. I'm not quite sure who struck first here. I don't know who pawed.
I think it
first
was
in the cat
Elon's
fight.
comments about where he did that speech that was going around for a few days where he said you can have a big bill or you can have a beautiful bill, but I don't think you can have both. And so he was trashing it, and then he said something about like the people that voted for it should be ashamed. And I don't know if he was talking about the bill or people that voted for Trump should be ashamed, but it's kind of the same thing.
Basically. So, yeah, Elon said, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT.
We all knew this. Is this supposed to be some kind of revelation?
Yeah,
Right.
To what extent do you think
Right.
he's in there, though?
Well, we know they were buddies, right?
Hmm.
He had all kinds of nice things to say about him.
Yeah.
We know they're not releasing the files.
Right.
What, I think we can just fill in the blanks with reasonable certainty.
I started to watch that documentary. Was it on Netflix on Epstein? And from what I gather, it was once all the those legal cases where the cases were happening in Florida. That's when supposedly Trump distanced himself, or when he found out about this, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. We can't have that here, okay? So, to what point? When
That's
was
pretty
that
good.
relationship
That's pretty
severed?
good Trump. It's good Trump.
And
Well-
he wasn't on the flight logs, right?
Supposedly not. And I guess that happened after he banned Epstein from his clubs. But there's all those old videos. But how long? That was like 90s Trump.
Yeah.
So
Well-
at what point did when did it? What's the timeline? But
Yeah.
What do you think,
I mean, I
Horse
think we
Mom?
know the real reason why they're not made public, though, and it's because Mossad says no. Right.
exactly.
Exactly. And why do you think they allowed Trump? They got behind Trump because they got dirt on Trump.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, that's
Did
It's
you?
leverage.
I was looking for a different quote and I Googled it and I came up with something different that I haven't heard about. Explosive tapes recorded by author Michael Wolff show Epstein claimed Trump liked to F his friends' wives and first slept with Melania on the Lolita Express. Jeffrey Epstein tapes, I was Donald Trump's closest friend.
Who is this again?
Who is this?
They were adults, though. It was all adults.
This is
Big whoop,
Um,
if so.
Michael Wolff, author. I don't know, but could be true. Anyway, I think that's not the one I was looking for. Is when he says stuff like, "Oh yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, yeah, he really likes the women, and some say he likes them young." Ha ha, something like that. Remember that quote?
I mean, he's
Don't
definitely
all you
had some.
guys like them young? Isn't that like normal? Like
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
not that young, but
No. In 2020, in 2002, Donald Trump called Jeffrey Epstein a fun and terrific guy and added, it quote, "It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side," end quote.
wink, wink.
Wink,
I
wink.
mean, what else do you have to say here? Right? Like, he was grabbing children by the pussy. I
Ooh.
think that's where we're at on this.
Yikes. I
Hiya.
thought we were classing up the joint tonight, James.
Right, I'm combining two different Trump things, right? But why not?
Yeah. Well, so then Trump says the easiest way to save money in our budget billions and billions of dollars is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts.
Correct.
I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. And then he also says, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. Also, missed opportunity to have Alex read this.
Yeah, by
but-
not getting
That's all
behind, right, by not just abandoning Doge and getting behind the big beautiful bill and $5 trillion in new deficit spending and $1 trillion military budget and increased taxes for everybody. The fact that Elon was opposed to this means he just went crazy because his subsidy was being removed. Okay. I think this is do you think this is just good cop, bad cop showmanship, or I think this is actual like children scrapping on the playground level shit?
Yeah, it's always hard to tell if it's like just a smoke screen for something else.
But the fact that it's so, I don't know what the word is.
Vitriolic, childish.
I mean, like bringing up Epstein, you know what I mean? Like that's like a below the belt, you know, like.
I mean, it's red meat to the base, or to, you know, the based base of MAGA. I mean, that's a low blow to kind of like, all right, maybe. I mean, this whole big beautiful bill, this whole Palantir thing's coming out.
I mean, how many of these MAGA guys are starting to lose faith? Are they just doubling down?
Good question, Alex.
I'm not the MAGA guy.
Yeah, what does the Mises Caucus think about this?
I'm such a horrible organizer. I'm not.
They're
I'm
not.
so-
They're not paying attention locally. That's for sure. The like
Mm.
MAGA people, they're not involved locally, while commies are taking over like every town in America right now. So
yeah, that's for
that's
damn
what
sure.
they're not doing. They're paying attention to this circus going on. Like,
Yeah,
It is fun though. You got to admit it's fun.
Yeah.
oh
You know
yeah,
what I
I'm
mean?
entertained. I'm
It
entertained.
can't all be like genocide and nuclear Holocaust, right? Like
Right.
trade wars. Some of it's just got to be hilarious.
The Mises Caucus.
Yeah, they're definitely. Yeah, MAGA's definitely. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, or I brought it up a few times. But there was when the Maryland legislature was in session, and they had this big tax rally, and it was like the 5 Republicans that are Freedom Caucus, and it was it was a bunch of boomer cons. There was a few base people in the crowd, but overall it was just old people checked out, and they're all just MAGA and just so paying attention to the big stuff and not like locally at all. And
Trump's gonna fix it. Trump's gonna fix it. He's just gonna come in and
Yeah.
fix it, even though he has
Right.
no jurisdiction over half the crap that
You just got to get the right people in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
you've
Has
been doing a lot
anybody-
locally, Forest Mommy. I saw a couple posts. You were testifying and going to the Capitol. What have you been? What's going on in Colorado locally?
Yeah, this is probably my busiest, most involved state legislative session this year. It's over now. It's for freaking 6 months. It's January to May. And they tried to put 700 bills through.
Jeez.
And there's
Good
plenty
Lord.
that went through. I know, it's like, and they do this every year. They do it every
Yeah.
year. And they're
Hey, the
just
more the
allowed to
merrier.
do this.
Why not?
No, I mean, Colorado is obviously, everyone knows, it's very blue, especially at the state level. But this last year during Trump, we took 3 House districts back, so they
When you
lost
say
the
we-
super majority.
Yeah, when you say we, do you mean the
Are
Republicans?
you part of the Republican establishment there, or what is your role?
just anybody who cares about Colorado and liberty movement, I would say. I don't prescribe to any group. Okay, I do my own things. Okay.
Okay, just check.
Yeah. So I guess that's just the people who aren't commies versus anybody else who isn't a commie. Basically, that's what we're working with out here. And I'm not
So
even
Dave
kidding
Smith
or
is out.
exaggerating.
Dave Smith.
Well,
No.
yeah, he didn't do anything out here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was just a busy year this year, but it grew a bunch, and we have a free state Colorado out here, which I really do think things have to get so bad to wake people up. And this last year, the more involved you are, the more little wins you see. You know, whereas most people aren't involved and they just everything's move out of Colorado, everything's crappy, blah, blah, blah. Well, like when you're really involved at all these different little levels, you see all these little wins, and that gives you the little white pills and the hope. Like this year, we had 2 bills go national news wise, and then one of them we had a record amount of people show up and like speak again to sign up to speak. So like that's cool. People are getting more,
Nice.
you know, that kind of stuff's happening. So
What
the
was that about?
the whole moving thing is like,
Oh.
I mean, are you just going to keep moving forever? Like as every place
yeah.
gets destroyed? Like at some point you got to like stay put and just fight back, right?
yeah, like, I
Eventually, you run
understand
out of
you gotta go.
Californians though to move in, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah, but they've
Everyone should go back to California. They should make California the next New Hampshire
There you
thing now
go.
because there's like, you
great
know,
weather in some places.
yeah, it's a lot more red up north too. So
Mhm.
but-
we should start our like. What's the opposite of the Free State Project, where we encourage people that hate liberty to all move to a certain place, right? Because it's just too hard. Like, right? Like, wouldn't it be easier if we put them all in one place instead of
Isn't
us
that
having
already
to
like
go to
New
New
York?
Hampshire or
yeah, or
What's that?
Colorado too. They're
New York?
doing that.
Colorado's
they're
too beautiful, though. I don't want to give. I don't want to
I don't want
sacrifice
to.
Colorado.
I don't want to, but that's what
think
they've been.
I'm-
They have
I'll-
the underground railroad to trans kids out here. They literally have nonprofit underground railroads set
Oh
up
my
to bring.
gosh.
It's so crazy. Like, ooh,
Can we like put bounties on these individuals? Like
some
a
of them are
reverse under-
state
like-
legislator. Some of them are freaking house people.
Wow.
Like, anyways, sorry.
Yeah, wait, aren't you thinking of El Salvador? Bab, is that your unfree state? El Salvador. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, you know what? They've got beaches, they've got volcanoes, they've got
Lots of
Bitcoin.
prisons.
I'd let them have New York. You know what I mean? I feel like New York has some nice things, but I'm willing to let it go. You know,
Yeah.
like,
I'll visit. Visiting's okay, right?
well, if it gets concentrated, it might become like North Korea. You know, you have to kind of think of it as like if we were successful in the what would you call it? The Unfree State Project.
Yeah. The yeah, what's an antonym to
I mean, just look at the top, like the
Liberty.
lowest, yeah, like the 45th through the 50th state. I mean, unfortunately, Maryland's one of them too. I mean, we're no better. It's terrible here. But
What if? How about? I got it. Not New York. We give them Washington D.C. Okay. Yeah, it'll be cramped, but who cares? Right.
I like that idea.
Yeah, because it's basically just a no man's land anyway.
It's
Right.
basically just museums and government, right?
And the museums are run by government, about government. So
Harriet Tubman.
it's the leader of the Trans Underground Railroad.
tell them.
Tub they them.
Oh God.
Okay. I was like,
Fucking hell. Dude. Like, it's what the fuck is wrong? Like, seriously. And it's that month. And it's every year my bigotry level just increases and increases. Every June, my tolerance for I'm just to the point where I'm like, no, I'm
What do you mean your bigotry level? What are you talking about?
I'm sick of this shit. I'm fucking tired of it. Like, I really
What does that have to
am.
do with bigotry. I guess I'm
No,
confused.
well, no, I mean, I guess that's the same. Like, I would be considered a bigot, but I'm fucking sick of this. I'm sick of Pride Month. I'm sick of June. I'm sick of this shit being thrown in my face. I'm sick of all these fucking politicians. I'm sick of all these like people that are just like,
Just too
I'm
Thinking
mad
this
as
is
hell, and
normal.
I'm not going to take
I'm
it.
just
anymore.
tired of it. And,
you need to unplug Twitter for a month and maybe just chill out in the woods.
well, not that, but
Yeah.
you go anywhere.
How did you feel when
anywhere.
you took your Twitter Lent? How did that make you feel?
Oh, it was great, but dude, this is the month. This is like peak degeneracy month. And anywhere you go, like, you just have a nice little Sunday, nice little Saturday, you can be wherever, and it's just in your face all the time. I'm tired of it. Like, like
I haven't
fucking
seen- you
flags
know what?
everywhere. There's a fucking nursing home up here, like right around the corner. I just like to go on walks because there's a trail, and it's like this retirement community. And at their administration office, they got the fucking trans flag. Like, what the fuck is that?
Like
Like a bunch
senior
of
trans.
boomers, like
Senior
"Ugh."
trans should be a new thing where they go to
Yeah.
nursing homes and then they do gender reassignment for like 90-year-olds.
I mean, it's not a nursing home, but
Finally, it took me 90 years.
I mean, it's like a bougie place, but you know, it's just this shit lib fucking virtue signaling for basically medical experimentation, and it's just fucking gross. It's like everywhere. I'm tired
Well,
of it.
I've tried to, teach like my daughters the difference between, the gay rights struggle, you know what I mean, which was a legit struggle for equality over the, past generations, and then this drag queen who wants to do shows for kids. These are not the same thing.
Right.
They're not, yeah.
This is a total disconnect. The people that fought for freedom at Stonewall, that want equal just marriage. They don't want to groom kids. They just, you know what I mean? They just want equal rights that everybody agrees they're due, right? The people that have made their job hard are these people that want to sterilize children. They want to they want to do these drag shows. They want to teach kids about dildos. Like, this is not what the gay rights movement fought for.
Right.
But it's been hijacked by these people. And, I think I just think, it's important that I try to explain the difference to my kids.
That's like the
100%.
people who showed up so the state capitol down in Colorado has a lot of these lunatics there. And so one of the bills that went big was 1312. And it started out, it passed, of course, but it started out, it had a part of it that said, as you as a, let's face it, father who's getting a divorce because your wife wants to trans your kid, if you call your kid their name that you gave them, that will be seen as coercive abuse and and be part of your custody trial and stuff, or custody. It's like, that was literally one of the parts of the bill that got amended out because it went crazy big. And it was really interesting seeing, but like you're saying, you can't get away from it. At the State House, it was a freaking circus. Literally, have you seen the ones that dress like nuns? They're there.
Oh,
the
my gosh.
drag nuns. They have all these. They're lunatics, and that's like coming
Drag
coming
nuns.
from
This
me.
is news.
Well,
yeah,
we call them two spirits now. Those are,
yeah.
like,
There's just
Native
and they're
American
running
shits,
around.
right?
There's tons of these people, and it's just and they're using the government force. They call everyone else fascist and everyone else this and that. And then here's a bill that was going to compel speech. That was part of my testimony. I'm like, who do you think compels speech? Fascists, but they're so lost in this.
Is this what we're talking about?
Stuff.
Yeah, that's them.
Some of those people. Yep.
What a bunch of goofies.
They look like demented Kiss.
It seriously looks like the circus.
I thought they were juggalos at first.
MAGA, make asylums great again. Like, seriously, these people need to be put away. Like, it might not be the libertarian answer, but there needs to be asylums.
No, you don't have to put them away. You just have to stop propping them up. Okay, just let them do what they want to do in the privacy of their own homes to each other. Keep them away from kids. Yeah. And stop acting like this is anything but you know what? Everybody's into something weird. They're into weird, juggalos, whatever. Everybody's got their thing, right? But that doesn't mean you have to put it on stage, act like this is normal.
Or use the government to force it on people.
I mean, and just recognize, there's people that are mentally ill. They're still people. They still have human rights. They still deserve dignity. They're mentally ill, right? We can deal with them. We should deal with them on that level instead of they're mentally ill, but let's pretend.
But let's elect them to office.
Yeah, let's pretend they're normal and we're the ones that are all weird. No.
Oh, jeez.
That doesn't help the Marxist takeover, though, unfortunately. And they need to destroy the family. They need to destroy the family and their
trans-Maoism. You just don't understand, Mom and Dad. You don't understand, Uncle so-and-so. My pronouns, da-da-da. That's what it is. It's the old, out with the old. I mean, I didn't term this, but this was no agenda. They term it trans-Maoism. So this is how you get the Marxist revolution. This is how they get by the tranny Maoism, more or less.
But I think it's also part of the older Malthusian cult, where people are the problem. They want to downsize the population.
Mhm.
So attacks on
Mhm.
fertility, attacks on the family, it's all fair game. when
Attacks
your
on
goal,
Christians.
like bring in some
Oh, did you hear about that
experimental
attack?
injections, whatever it takes. If fertility goes down, they pat themselves on the back. This is a win for them. Like,
Did you
oh,
see
we
that?
got
Did you see that attack on the fertility clinic in Palm Springs recently? By an
Oh
actual
yeah,
like
blew up his car. There's like parts of him in the
yeah,
street.
like an actual like Malthusian
Oh.
like cult
like,
member
how
or something.
dare you try to not decrease human fertility?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
he had a whole
bizarre.
manifesto, right? He had a whole
I
like
think
man. He's
so,
like,
yeah.
God is dead. God's dead. Blah blah blah. It's like, cool. Now you're dead, dude, bro. Like, good job. Did he kill anybody else or just himself? I don't
Was he
even
on?
know.
I'm not sure.
Was he on pharmaceuticals? Any psychoactive drugs? Probably.
Probably, most likely.
Probably of some sort.
Sponsored by
I
Pfizer.
don't know.
Well, I mean, how do we defend against these people? Like, you're trying to go to these like government things and fighting back, and good luck with that.
Looks like it
Yeah, it
only
won't do
injured. It only
anything.
injured other.
It just
people.
feels good. It's just therapy for me to go look at them and be like, "You pieces of shit."
Oh, these are the antinatal. These are the antinatalist people. So they
Oh, the bomber.
they just believe that people should not be born without their consent. It's like when you take the nap to like a retarded place.
You didn't consent to
You
being
didn't consent
born.
to
You
be
violated my rights to remain non-existent. But if you're
Yeah.
non-existent, do you have any rights?
Right, exactly. You're kind of in a paradox there, right?
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Just disregard these people. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's the best. Laugh at them, right? Protect yourself from them, and God help people that are in custody battles, because that really seems to be where parents just get destroyed because they have
Well,
to
just
make all
don't
these
marry a
choices.
lunatic.
Yeah, didn't that that was like
Good luck.
How long have you been married, Jared?
Coming up on 3 years.
We're all
Okay.
lunatics. It's just what kind of lunatic.
Let's.
You
I
know?
want to check back with you in 7 years and see how you're doing.
Okay.
Alex, you're just getting started. I'll check back in 10 years for you.
okay. Well, we're Tara's pushing a prenup, Bab, so we're following your advice. So
Oh,
Don't
nice.
call it a prenup. Just call it a, like a
pre-marriage contract.
agreement.
pre-marriage agreement. Yeah. But oh shit, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, we're gonna that speaking of the story of the forced mommy, wasn't it that story that went big? Wasn't that the custody battle? There was a viral video of some mom, lesbian, like they them, and it was at the custody battle that sparked this bill. I'm trying to
There's some people. There's a guy named was there the dad's like testimony? Did you see that maybe? But it's already happening. This stuff's already happening even without being a law. Like, and plus these women will use divorce. I mean, they already are. The lawyers tell them to lie and say that the husband is or ex-husband is abusing the kids. Like they're literally told to
He's
say that.
misgendering the kids.
Yeah.
All three of our just
that was part of it.
coincidentally trans kids.
And funny enough, the religious people. So the last couple years down there were like, I know churches can't specifically like campaign, blah, 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 but like they should still teach their congregations what the laws of the land are going to be, and this and that. And then this bill, they kind of took it a little too far, maybe like whatever, but there's still some good ones. They got involved, like all these churches got involved. So I'm like, hell yeah, just more people to teach about how to at least be more aware of what's going on. And so that was cool. But yeah, then all of a sudden they were like with that William Wolf guy. Did you ever hear his name? He's like part of some big, they're all these people are not, no matter what side you are, when you're big and
Everyone's
have
named
nonprofits
Wolf.
and all this, it's like they're all in it for money, but they're like, we need to make religious laws. And it's like, okay, can you stop? Because you're giving them exactly what they want when you say stuff like that. And like, we're fine, So.
Well, every time somebody goes to the state for the solution, they're just asking for more abuse, right? Like they're just asking,
Yeah.
they're
Weren't
just
they
asking.
Weren't
the
they trying to
pendulum
get
my direction.
wasn't Texas trying to put the 10 Commandments in every school or something like that?
I think so. And they
I mean,
were
what would
getting
you add-
passed up in
I mean,
Texas.
seriously, how retarded is that? Like, okay, let's start with. How about we start with "Thou shalt not steal"? Now, let's. Why don't we post that at the school board? Okay, not in the school, but at the school board. Okay, like.
Yeah.
Like when we get past that, you can tell me what you want to put in the school, but that is so stupid. I mean, like the whole system is based on violations of the Ten Commandments.
Andrew has a good suggestion here. We just need to sponsor the Amish for just 7 pennies a day. You can outbreed the crazy leftists. For every dollar you spend, means 10 more Amish babies.
$1.
Adopt an Amish.
For a dollar.
Adopt a Mennonite.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is part of Trump's rhetoric. Didn't he come out with that with his CBDC for newborns, where you're going to get an account, perhaps directly with the Federal Reserve, and it's going to have his CBDC.
Was the CBDC a part of that?
Well, they're not calling it a CBDC, but it's kind of unclear. But if it ends up being an account directly with the Federal Reserve in a digital, censorable, programmable,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
like at some point you're like, yep. And here we all knew it would be rolled out as a freebie. You know, like here's your free Trump
that would be a
coin.
really good way to get them hooked on it, right?
Oh my God, yeah. And so they're giving it to babies now as sort of an incentive to breed.
Yeah, what was that thing called? I gotta look that up because it had a funny name.
Yeah, they'll track, and it'll all be tracked by Palantir.
Oh, thank God, Palantir's. You know, I mean, we talked about Palantir way before the election, right? Because Whitney Webb had exposed that all the Peter Thiel, the Palantir, the JD Vance, like the whole agenda was pretty much out in the open.
Oh, they're called Trump accounts.
Trump account.
Yeah.
What else? What else does it say about it? It seems unbelievable to me, but
$1,000. So this was in the big beautiful bill, and it says tax bill includes $1,000 baby bonus in Trump accounts. Here's who is eligible. Let's see who's eligible.
Where is this account? That's my question.
If the bill passes, parents will be able to contribute up to $5,000 a year, and the balance will be invested in a diversified fund that tracks a U.S. stock index. So
it tracks a stock index, but it's not like a stock ETF or anything. It just tracks a stock index. Where is the account? I think it's gonna, if it's at the Federal Reserve, we know it's a CBDC, which even though the Federal Reserve Act specifically prohibits individual accounts with the Fed, hey, why should that stop them though?
Uniform Transfers to Minors Act.
Yeah, it doesn't specify where it lives.
Well, we'll find out, but let's just.
It also doesn't exist yet, so.
Right. Let's just assume it's going to be horrible, tyrannical, and invasive.
Yeah.
Is it in the big beautiful bill that nobody read?
It's in the big beautiful bill.
How about Taylor Greene? Do we have Taylor Greene's tweet lamenting the fact that about AI, the ban on AI regulation?
Yeah, it's in the docs here, Jared. It's where is it? Well, it's Disclosed TV, but it's new Trump's big beautiful bill bans all 50 states from regulating AI for 10 years, centralizes control at the federal level, and integrates AI systems into key federal agencies.
So, right. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't think the government should be regulating AI, but I feel like this is an attempt to make sure that government use of AI can't be curtailed.
Well, this just says the states can't regulate it, right? But it says it still allows for the federal government to regulate it.
Exactly. Yeah. But what they don't want is their operation going to get like scrutinized or interfered with by California or New York or Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
So whatever this is, I thought Marjorie Taylor Greene's tweet about it was informative.
Yeah, but she voted for it, but she's like, oh, if I knew it was in the big beautiful bill, I would have never voted for this if it, basically violates the 10th Amendment.
Exactly.
And doesn't allow states to.
She should basically resign over that, right? She's admitting she didn't read it. she voted, and even the summary would have told her that this is a complete ridiculous boondoggle.
You could have even just put it
horrible
into Chat
spending.
GPT and asked it to summarize it for
Right,
you.
summarize it. Is there anything super tyrannical in here I shouldn't vote for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Like-
fucked.
The whole
So, but
goddamn thing.
Don't you guys think that she should
It's
resign
not
over that?
tyrannical.
Admitting, but I mean, she admitted.
You think she has integrity?
Well, she should resign. Did she endorse Trump?
Of course she endorsed Trump.
Yeah.
She wore
should
like a
resign
fucking
over
MAGA
that.
hat to.
Yeah, she should resign over the fact that she voted for the bill. She should resign over the fact that she didn't read the bill.
Yeah, I mean that's ass butt.
Ass
Yeah.
butt. Let's
I asked, but
let's
The word from
hear
Massey
from
is that-
ass butt for a second.
Yeah, the word from Massey is that they released a bill to Congress with very little time before the vote. Well, that's par
what
for
they
the course.
always
There,
do.
ass butt.
It's always that
That's
way.
They're not
always
like, hey,
happens.
here's a
Yeah.
month to read through this bill, dissect it,
But
Yeah.
guess what?
research it.
They can always vote no and say, like, I'd like to consider it, but I didn't have time to read it.
Yeah.
No. Okay. You remember
Yeah.
I don't know, like 10 or 15 years ago, Downsize DC had a campaign called the Read the Bills Act. Did you ever hear about this?
It's like how low is the bar? It's like we would like you Congress critters to just read the bill. So we need to pass a bill.
Right. How
For you
far
to
do you
read
think
the
the Read
bill.
the Bills Act got in Congress?
Not
Well, they
very far.
probably read that bill.
I doubt it even made it to any kind of committee. Okay. Like the thing, it's just adorable. People think they're going to somehow trick Congress into limiting themselves or corralling, like, come on. Of course they don't read them. They're never going to read them. Come on. It's 10,000 pages of theft.
Well, they're supposed to have their aides read it, right? Their aides, which are like 20-year-old like interns, right?
I think you've got the right idea where we should say, look, every congressman before they vote should at least allow AI to scan the bill for them and tell them whether they should vote for it or not.
Yeah. Each AI should be trained on that person's previous voting record so they can know how they should continue to vote.
Right. They're like, oh boy, this is a huge windfall for the military industrial complex. Yes.
Yes.
Israel's going to love it. Yes.
APAC's the APAC. My APAC guy says we got to vote on this. So
Right. Or maybe that's where they should just say, it's like, okay, and not the congressperson should read the bill, but their APAC handler should read the bill.
Yeah. Speaking of APAC, if you guys want to donate to something that doesn't bomb Israel, you can join or doesn't bomb Gaza rather.
wait,
I won't count the former out. No, just kidding.
As a Houthi, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, you can join our Patreon. It's patreon.com/punkrocklibertarians. For as little as $3 a month, you get access to our after hours program. And yeah, it's really good. And we also have t-shirts. If you sign up for the $10 a month level, you get one of those for free. And that's where we reveal all our top secret Fed level information. So make sure you sign up.
Punk Rock Libertarian Podcast Pro.
Pro, yes, that is the pro level. Sorry, the pro level, you get access to all of our incriminating evidence,
Tax strategies,
Bitcoin keys,
where we're hiding immigrants.
Yeah.
your Diddy party photos.
Yep,
speaking of
all the dirt.
yeah, all the everything that happens in the overflow room. But
Now, speaking of, is there anything on the Diddy case?
we have some
in
docs,
progress, right?
I'm going to come to the overflow room.
So yeah, come on over to the overflow room after this. But yeah,
Diddy freak off deets from trial. Let's see
Yeah.
this.
So
Oh,
this is
a video. Okay. Oh,
yeah,
this dude. Okay.
yeah, this dude's hilarious. But this is apparently from a
I love
witness.
this guy.
This was apparently what was submitted during the trial just this past week, but here we go.
Well, 72 hours into a freak off, Diddy instructed me to lock hands with Family Matters star Reginald Vell Johnson and yell "wee" as he slid through our legs on a lubed up floor, gently grazing our balls with the back of his hand before double bouncing 90s rapper Ja Rule onto my genitals by way of mini trampoline, completely knocking naked comedian Bruce off his lubed up big wheel bike. It was at this point Diddy yelled, "Hey, Ja, quit hogging the dick," grabbed me by my Velcro vest, stuck myself and rapper Paul Wall to the wheel of pleasure on the hotel wall, which Cassie stepped over Dustin Patrick Runnels' naked body to begin spinning while blasting circus music. As the wheel spun, I became unstuck and was knocked unconscious from the fall, only to wake up to Mr. Wall being instructed to retrieve his grill from my anal
Paul
cavity
Wall.
while Diddy chanted "We gone fishing" into his megaphone. But as I attempted to stand up, still dizzy, I slipped on the lube, bumping one of the monitors displaying a video called to Cassie's now husband, and was instructed that my tenure at the freak-off had been terminated due to that infraction.
It was at this point I walked into the hotel wearing nothing but a 1991 ECW championship belt as instructed, introduced myself to the fellas and Cassie's now husband via video call, and began fulfilling my request to place the belt at the top of the ladder before Diddy leapfrogged over both Reginald and myself, screaming "Is gon' rain," and began urinating on himself, Reginald, rapper Chingy, Cassie, and myself, completely fogging up the scuba mask he had placed on me, as well as knocking comedian Cedric the Entertainer and New York Mayor
No,
Eric
not
Adams
Cedric
off
the
their
Entertainer.
two-man Syrian.
Yes.
I was then asked to slide over to freak off northeast corner and enter the conga line position between athlete Bruce Jenner and scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson, while Diddy mounted the ladder, proclaimed
this
that
isn't
black
real, is it?
does crack, then bent over to expose his anus while making eye contact with me through his legs and whispering peekaboo.
Oh my God.
Noticing that eye contact was made, which he considered a freak-off infraction, he demanded I sign my freakignation with his dildo pen, and I was escorted out of the room without pay by who appeared to be Will Smith in a mesh referee outfit.
Okay, that was definitely not real.
I don't know. It could be.
I'm going to say there's a good chance that's real.
Half of that is definitely real for sure.
I'd love the idea of Neil deGrasse Tyson getting like wrapped up in the Diddy freak offs.
Yeah, fuck him. The guy.
I hate that guy so much.
That guy's a douche. But I mean, man, that's so sad. Family Matters. Carl Winslow is caught up in the.
You can't get Carl Winslow. Cedric the Entertainer, dude.
I mean, he's not that funny, so you could see how he got to where he is.
I liked it back in the day, but I was
Isn't
a
his
kid, so
trial in
maybe it doesn't
progress?
hold up.
Like, what do we? Is there a?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really research.
Well, there was yeah. Well,
Is there
I
like
think
a GoFundMe for the Free Diddy campaign, like legal defense?
I mean, the dude's a billionaire. I'm not sure he needs it.
I was watching the drawings coming from the court have been really funny. If you've seen those, the like
Yeah.
sketches, they're funny.
Should we
Some
pull
of
some
them are-
up?
Yeah,
Let's see what
some
we
of
can
them
find
are
here.
like terrible and like yeah. I was watching Brad Binkley on his propaganda report. He was showing that too. So funny.
They're pretty funny. Oh wow.
What the fuck, dude? Oh,
It looks like
we're
a
on air.
wallet. Wait, what would that say?
It looks like a koala.
He looks like. a
There's one that
koala.
was like blank. There was like a blank face. It was funny.
Oh,
That's the same
I don't know
picture.
if
P. Diddler.
P. Diddler. Well, here's some more. What the fuck?
Look at the judge. Look at wait.
Oh, there's the baby
Oh,
oil.
it's a nice rendition of all the baby oil.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's like a Rembrandt. It's
Yeah,
look at the
dude.
watercolor. Look at the
I mean, this
and
is
look
a
at the detail on the
talented,
Johnson and Johnson with the teardrop and everything.
This is a
Like, it's-
talented artiste.
Can
Man.
you
He's
go back
got
and
his
zoom-
thumbs up. His
Go
thumbs
back
up
and zoom
there.
in on the judge.
On the
No,
judge?
seriously, this is some really good artwork. It must be tough out there. Like artists
Dude,
actually have to get real jobs. And
I
they're
would
like,
hang
hey,
that. I would
you
hang
like to
that
be
on
the
my
art-
wall. I totally. It looks like pastels. What are we talking
yeah,
about?
they're
Here?
definitely.
That looks
very-
like Rachel Maddow.
Look at it's like a flat top. Looks like the guy from Top Gun. Yeah. Maverick.
What the hell?
what is going on? Oh,
Is that
this
Mike
Uh-oh.
Tyson?
No, it's
So
no, it's
for
Neil
our
deGrasse
listeners,
Tyson.
Yeah. Is this
A
a
video
Oh,
from
that's
the
when he was
hotel
beating.
is shown.
That's when he was beating the girl at the hotel. It's a video of when he was beating that chick at the hotel.
Oh, and he like ran her down. He
Mm.
ran down the hall and drug her back. Yeah.
Grabbed
This
her.
chick?
Good lord. Maybe. Must be. So she's sad.
Gr-
Look at his face there.
What is the evidence they're holding up here? It looks like there's a gun on a monitor in this.
Gun on a monitor and then like
some,
cocaine maybe or something.
Maybe that what are they? The pink cocaine.
Oh, is that Kid Cudi? Oh yeah, that story was
Yeah.
crazy. So apparently he like firebombed Kid Cudi's car because he was dating his ex or something like that.
Wow.
I like Kid Cudi.
Ooh, wow. Spicy.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a little tattoo on the butt.
What?
Yeah, these are
Are those the jurors?
interesting. So he's hugging his lawyer.
Was that
He's
a
raising
hug?
his hands.
Isn't it weird that we still have to do these sketches and we can't just do photos?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
what time period are we living in? You know, like,
this one. Dude.
why are we doing sketches again? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, what?
It's a jobs program for artists.
Yeah. Pretty much.
For bad artists that can work quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is.
But seriously, like, they
interesting
invented the
stuff.
camera, what, like 200 years ago?
I like how the picture here looks like more like Diddy than the actual. Like the drawing of the picture looks
Yeah.
more like Diddy than the actual Diddy.
I think this artist should put these in a gallery and do an exhibition. They will be hot.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this dude's facial expression.
Like he's got like latex gloves on. Why? Wait, you can't handle the gun without latex gloves on?
I mean, you can't point it at the jury again.
Oh yeah, like in the Rittenhouse case.
Yeah,
oh, is that what
Right.
happened?
you can't
Yeah,
flag.
I'm
You can't flag the entire jury.
Yeah. Like held the gun up and just
Yeah, he had like the AR and he just like pointed it right at the jury.
Swept everybody in the room.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Everyone's like, "Whoa!" Probably.
Technically, if somebody points a gun at you, you're allowed to shoot them. I'm pretty sure. Right?
Exactly.
Like no matter the circumstance, even if they meant well, if somebody points a rifle at you, you're allowed to return fire. You don't have to wait for them to shoot you.
Right. Unfortunately, it's
Is
a
this,
gun.
is this legal advice? Is this legal advice?
I don't give legal advice, tax advice, or relationship advice.
or financial advice.
Or definitely.
Yeah, these are something else, man.
Yeah, thanks for sharing for us, Molly.
That's
how come-
awesome.
Yeah.
But how come some courtrooms you are allowed to take video? I mean, clearly, right? Like there's Judge
Is it just
Judy and
federal
shit like that.
cases? Well, maybe it's a level of like the court. Who knows? Like,
And then like I've seen like like
Hmm.
documentaries where they've got film from like inside of courtrooms of like serial
They
killers. and
stream
shit.
it live. They stream court live for some
So
cases.
why are we
Yeah.
doing these stupid pencil sketches in freaking 2025 current
Doesn't
year?
make any sense.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some stupid reason, but
The whole justice system is stupid. But let's just hope Diddy receives all the justice he deserves.
absolutely.
man, I don't
What
know
else
where
we
to
got
go.
for this weekend or this weekend? This week?
Well, so yeah, lost in the whole MAGA wars and Elon and Trump's beef. The whole Glenn Greenwald situation was just kind of not swept under the rug, but I think he's black. He's clearly being blackmailed by the release of that video. But here, because this was this video just recently when he was on Tucker, and Glenn's just noticing a little too much. And I think that's why Mossad was like, "Hey, Glenn, we got these."
Are we gonna play? Are we gonna actually play the leaked video?
I don't have it. I don't.
I don't
I'm
think we
looking
should
through
play
this-
that anyway.
Yeah.
I think somebody's accusing Glenn Greenwald of being gay. Like, okay, right?
Well, we all knew that, but
I know. So, I mean, I don't. I feel like Glenn.
I mean,
is
this guy's
probably
trying
the
to
greatest,
he's probably trying to
journalist
smear
in my
him.
generation. I don't really care if he's gay. Like,
so
This
according to
guy's claiming
Craig
he ran
here,
a gay porn company and escort service in Brazil. with his now deceased favela.
Free market capitalism, baby. That's what.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
is.
even if he did this, okay.
Wait, they're saying his deceased husband.
I guess. Yeah.
Who gives a crap?
I don't give a crap.
Glenn
Whatever.
Greenwald is one of the great. He's probably the greatest journalist of my generation. I don't know anybody that does his job as good as he does.
Yeah.
Gray Zone, Max Blumenthal, Aaron Monte, those guys are in that zone. But Glenn Greenwald is a class act. He's so far above, head and shoulders above all the rest.
Love how that site looks like it's from 1996.
He was
Exactly.
looking for new snow shovelers for Judge Nappy.
Oh no. Yeah. I mean, all I have is this was probably within a week or two of these tapes or that video being released of Glenn Greenwald. But I don't know, Jared, if you want to pull this video up here, and there's a tweet from Luke Radowski, but I think he was just noticing a little too much. And this was just an excerpt from his interview with Tucker. So
one of the set of files we released described the intelligence relationship that we have with Israel, that the NSA has with Israel. Israel is the number one recipient of NSA technology and NSA intelligence. We share more with Israel, even more than we do with the Five Eyes partners who develop this technology. We give more to Israel, more intelligence, raw intelligence about Americans as well, and more intelligence know-how. But at the same time, the documents that describe who are our greatest intelligence threats, who are our greatest intelligence adversaries, who spies on us the most, who is capable of spying out the most, number one on the list is Israel as well.
Duh.
Obviously, the Israelis use, the most dangerous spying programs like Pegasus and others come from Israel, are developed by Israel, are controlled by the Israelis, by which I simply mean to say that Israel uses every weapon at its disposal, including gathering incriminating information about its enemies.
Sounds like he's noticing some things.
yeah, incriminating evidence that Israeli intelligence, Mossad, just happens to, and he's been the most outspoken, or one of the few, actual independent journalists that aren't just going along with the program and actually speaking out.
Imagine all the different ways they've tried to get Greenwald, right?
Mhm.
Because he's been so good for so many years, since Ed Snowden and beyond. I first saw Glenn Greenwald. He was at a Future of Freedom Foundation event in like 2007 or 2009, something like that. Like Jacob Hornberger had brought him in, and he's freaking great. Anyway,
Or more like pegged ass us.
oh, come on. Let's have a little respect for,
Yeah.
But after a certain level, people are going to be trying to get you on shit. So
they've got nothing on him, right? It must have been so frustrating for those trying to get dirt on him. Finally, they're like, hey, let's tell everybody that he's gay. Like, well, we already knew that. In fact, his husband recently died. Like,
Yeah.
What do you go to hell?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the best they've got, like, he's in good shape.
Anywho, yeah, that's all.
You guys watch his YouTube channel, System Update?
Occasionally, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I like his stuff. I like Matt Taibbi's stuff. He did, the Twitter files and
Yeah, I like him too.
all that stuff.
I mean, sadly, the best journalists are coming from the left, it seems, but these guys are still honest about it. Like sometimes, like I noticed with Glenn Greenwald, his leftism shows up when he knows he doesn't understand economics. So to talk about economic subjects, he'll bring in somebody to talk about economics who's some stupid leftist professor with a bunch of dumbass like leftist economic bullshit ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when what he knows about, I mean, the stuff that he did with Snowden, I mean, that alone should just assure him, a place in the
Fame
Hall
residence.
of Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, should we take it?
Yeah.
Take it on over to the overflow room.
Take it on over.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so everybody, thanks for listening. It says we have 317 people watching, so if that's accurate, that's pretty awesome. If it's not, whatever.
That's like 317 times more listeners than usual. I mean,
Well, because it's on Twitter too. On your Twitter always says it's like a ton of people.
Yeah,
I feel
Twitter inflates it a little bit, but
well,
hey,
if you count the bots, I think that's
we've got
that's
quite an
probably
active chat here too on YouTube. So
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for
Awesome. So,
tuning
yeah.
in, everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for tuning in.
listening, everybody.
once again, if you want to help support the show and you want to get access to our After Hours program, you can go over to our Patreon at Punk Rock Libertarians, or patreon.com/punkrocklibертarians. We also have a site called PRLfans.com where you can see other ways to support us. Also got our shirts over at libertariancountry.com. Check them out. We've got a promo code, enter PRL to save, I think it's 5% there. And yeah.
Thanks, Assbutt.
And thanks,
Yeah, thanks,
Assbutt.
Assbutt. And
And
thanks for
also-
hanging out for us, Mommy. Do you want to plug away before we get out of here?
First, Mommy on Twitter. I still do a couple shows on my channel, and then I do another show on Friday nights called The Correct Opinion, and it's spelled COWRECT on Rumble. And yeah, and I have a show called Off the Rails I'm doing with 9/11 is Gay, who's in the chat too tonight. He's a real funny guy.
Hell yeah.
So,
It's a funny guy.
Yeah.
What do you mean
And
funny?
yeah,
Funny how?
still got.
All right.
Check it out.
Well, until next time, live free.
Or die.